Yeah. Okay.
So, yes, let's start with the first point, Smita. This is
Yeah.
for the entrance, right?
Yeah.
See, for the entrance in spice industry, whether it is domestic, we can able to make a category, and export, we can make a separate category. So for them, what is the main requirement? This is what you have been like
What
to.
is the opportunity for them? Yeah. And then what is the requirement?
Yes, yes. See, for the entrance, mm, if they are very visionable people and they are entering, they may start with some processing of spices, value additions and all. But before that, they should have a thorough knowledge of the basics of spices. That is the funda, actually, whether it is an exporter or domestic or whoever it is. This will not work unless and until you understand the basics of spices.
Mm.
So whatever be the spices industry which you want to enter, for all the spices, some basic knowledge of spices you should have. When is a crop growing? How is the crop? When is the crop getting harvested? What is the carryover stock is there? How is this year
Mm.
production is there? How is the weather this year, and whether it will impact our production or not, or how it will be favorable. And in apart from existing areas, where other areas in India if it is growing, so what is their status? And if on a global platform, if we just think about who are our competitors producing cumin, jeera, apart from India, and how is their status, their quality, when their crop will come, and many other factors. See, to
Right.
understand the basic concept of any spice, you need to have some information to enter into any spice business, right?
Mm.
Apart
Mm.
from that, the thing, once they get a basic knowledge, right, they should be able to um, see. Procure at a very I mean lower cost and try to optimize the product operation costs to sell it initially. That is
Mm.
one thing, because spices industry where you have, if I'm not wrong, so 200 suppliers and 1,000 buyers globally. You can say like that. You can put it like that.
Mm.
So there
Mm.
is a huge competition in spice industry. Number one, right? And
Mm.
it is not a very, I mean, justified margin when compared with the amount we invest in one container or one set of batch actually. So, for example, today cumin seeds are priced at 250 rupees per kg. So, for a
Mm.
container of 25 tons of container, so the value is coming around 50 lakhs. So
Mm.
50, how much you expect us to, I mean, just you can guess what would be our margin.
Mm. 5-6%.
You're two times higher.
Oh, wow.
People
That's
for 2% a decent margin. This is what we call as decent, but this is not decent. I know. So conventional material, like it's not an IPM grade. It's there's no pesticide residue compliance or kuch hai nahi. Only you want to trade, buy sell, buy sell, buy sell. Then you will be getting it around 1.5% on an average, and two for this thing. And if we, it's for normal quality, I can say. If it is for a good quality grade, highly pure, bold, cleaned, fantastic material, good grade, good premium, this one, then we can able to claim 1.5% more as well. Right.
mm.
Number three, if we go for IPM category, say integrated pest management, where we advise farmers to use only limited number of pesticides approved bio inputs, such that once the crop comes out, the residue
Mm.
level is very limited as per the importing country regulation. It should pass, right? So I mean, for example, 0.05 ppm, parts per million, in this what one molecule. This is a limit set by EU authorities. So it should fall below that category. If that is the case, then we can able to export to EU. That is an IPM category, right? So
Right.
similarly, in all the spices, now Europe, UK is buying IPM grade material only. As of now, 35 to 40 countries in the world are procuring IPM grade material, right? With the pesticide residue molecules limit is below the importing countries limit.
So does that mean that even a lot of the existing players, cannot now fulfill that requirement? Is that a gap now? Or
There is still an opportunity.
huh?
Still an opportunity is there, because in one particular product I'm saying, for example, say cumin. This year, last year we have very good demand, even now also. But sometimes due to political situations, the demand is less. But overall, the requirement and demand is certainly to grow in many folds in the coming years.
Okay.
Because yeah, because in many articles and many discussions and forums, people are discussing and trying to find out that pesticide residue, high presence of pesticide residues may be one of the cause of cancer.
Yeah, true. It's
Maybe.
becoming more and more. Even in India now, people are becoming more conscious of these things and are paying attention to it. So
Yeah.
what is the rejection rate at this point when you export? What is the rejection rate of?
See, what we cannot able to say as a rejection rate,
Okay.
because once it is, we have to, export to EU, UK, or Japan, or Korea, we have to follow those compliance laws. Actually,
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
we invest heavily here in our part, because
Okay. To stay
right.
compliant.
Yeah. See, farmer, we used to buy around, say, 30 bags, 40 bags, 50 bags of jeera. Each bag around 50, 55 kg. So around 2.5 tons to 3 tons from one farmer. Like that, with many farmers, we have been collecting that. Each and every farmer's lot has to be tested for pesticide residue presence. That testing costs not less than 4 to 5,000 rupees. Right. So for a quantity of around 2.5 to 3 tons, if I spend 3,000, 4,000 to 5,000, my testing cost is straight away added 1.5 rupees per kg at that time. Right. That is clear. Similarly, we do all the farmers the individual testing, and once they are collected and it is brought to our factory, so we will split it out into 10 farmers lot this side, 10 farmers lot B. Then again 100% sampling has to be done, then again has to be tested, and once the plot completely it is cleared, then only we are allowed for production. This is what we farmers call. This is a system. So these are all so many, costs involved in
Every process step.
producing such crops, right? So this is for IPM I'm talking about. If you go for organic,
Even more.
many claiming are organic, and I'm damn sure that that much of organic is not at all available in our country. It is very difficult to procure. For even collecting IPM materials, it is very, very difficult. As on now, in cumin, I can say you not more than, this is the higher side I'm talking about, not more than 20% of the total produce is IPM. Rest all its producement is the normal conventional material, which is consumed by India, Bangladesh, China, Dubai, and to some USA as well, because they are not stringent in pesticides. So this is what happening. So ongoing, now there are 35 to 40 countries, they have started buying IPM grades, like UK, entire European nations, and Japan, Korea, Qatar, and many others. And in the coming years, you will witness this number to drastically increase suddenly. So this 35 countries which they are buying now, the numbers will increase to 60 and then to 100 in another 3 to 4 years maximum, I can say.
So you're seeing this as a very big threat then to even the existing industry players.
Absolutely.
So why is the change not happening? I mean, where is the big bottleneck? Is it at the farmer end and education, or is it really that the cost of producing IPM grade is so high that it's impossible? What is really the biggest challenge in that in getting to the IPM grade production?
All the points which you have said.
Hmm.
See, one thing is that why a farmer has to do IPM?
Hmm.
While the traditional method is there, why I want to do it? What is the benefit of doing that one? What I'm getting? So we are paying a decent premium to each and every crop if they produce it as IPM. Last year, one of the toughest phase when there is more demand for IPM, the difference between the conventional material and the IPM material was
Mhm.
32%.
Whoa.
This is the highest. Now, if we calculate currently, as on now, we will laugh actually. It is 10 to 15 rupees. 10 rupees to 15 rupees. So this is the game. Whenever the
Hmm.
demand is over, I mean demand is high, the difference of IPM will be more. We need to pay more rather than the non-IPM. And that when it's surplus, automatically the price comes down and we are able to get it. So
Right.
yeah, we see even India FSSAI regulations already they
Yeah.
have included the pesticide residue law is there that it is not actually implemented in a
Implemented, yeah. We have that is our biggest problem. If it gets implemented, everybody will be forced to.
you can't even
Yes.
buy a single seed of jeera from India if they implement that rule. Because I
Ah.
have studied that limits of MRL limits of FSSA. In some of the points, it is stringent than Europe, right? I don't know on what basis they have made the limits. Whether they have, I mean, how many case studies has been done in the field level for the particular molecule, or they monitored the molecule's presence for years together and then they set the limit. I don't know because we didn't have any industry consultations at the first time when they set the limit. Previously, last year only they have invited for a stakeholder consultation on this particular subject. But again, the
Hmm.
values are very stringent. Some of them, the values are liberal. So if you are enforcing such a limit in our country, right? So
Hmm.
are we sure that this will, match the product which we produce? Number one, you are implementing the law. What is a
Hmm.
crop? You test the crop, the results,
Yeah,
whether
they've
it
done.
is matching that one or not.
Yeah.
And need not to test. I will say it will not match.
Yeah.
It will not
They're
match.
probably aware of it, right? It's not like they wouldn't be aware of it. They would probably be aware of it. They just want to
Well
kind
aware.
of,
Well
yeah,
aware of
on paper they want to they want to show that they are adhering to global standards requirements and yeah.
See, right.
Um,
But
mm,
on the longer run, it is better and good for the society, health of the people, everything is right.
yeah, correct, correct.
We have to implement, but we have to consider what to say, the essence of that particular molecule or the effect of that particular molecule when it is consumed. The limits which they have set, either European limit or other countries limit, are if I am say I can say as baseless.
Mm,
0.01 ppm is one molecule they have given. 0.01 ppm. So 0.01 parts per million parts. So
mm,
spices is consumed per day. If I'm not wrong, 2 grams or 2.5 grams, not more than 3 grams per person per day.
mm,
Right. That
Hmm.
one parts per million point, that's not also one parts per million, it is 0.01 parts per million. Do you really think it will, I mean, give a much effect on
Impact on
deteriorating
health.
health conditions?
Practical, yeah. But is
Yeah.
this because the European standards are require that, or is it because of any other reason?
No, the standards are set by EU legislation. If you want to export to
Uh,
UK,
yeah,
they will
yeah.
comply with this one. That, but whether that chemical, whether they have done a test on this one, whether they have monitored on that one,
On a human
and,
body.
and the main thing is that spices already being having a so much of medicinal value, and
Yeah,
spices
true.
we are consuming after cooking at a higher temperature, more than 100 or something, whatever, 80, 100. So the presence or the effect of such pesticide residues at this level is negligible.
Right,
0.01 ppm का कोई जरूर नहीं है. You want to keep it around 1 ppm, 3 ppm. Sounds good. Slowly you can able to reduce and make the system correct.
right.
But
So you're saying it's
unfortunately,
impractical, but that has to be dealt by, the for organizations like FSSAI in collaboration with the EU organizations, right? So that's a government to government, um, you know, whatever discussions and agreements to reach. Hmm. Okay. But how does this practically then, I mean, this would still practically impact everybody who is exporting to EU, right?
yeah,
How do
of
you deal
course.
with it? Hmm.
Very tough. I mean, we have to experience few many constraints of that one because mandatory testing has now become for some of the products where Spices Board in India, the nodal agency will test, do the sampling, test the products, and if the tests if all clears, only we can able to export that spices to EU. And apart
Hmm.
from that, random checks has been done at destination port, and also authorities may pick up some of the packs in the retail shops and they can able to raise an issue within the expiry period also. So
So
so many
that
solutions are there.
right. So that was what was happening in USA, right? They picked up some of the well-known brands and then they created a big halla gulla around it. I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I get it. Okay. All right. So, and so if you, so for a new entrant, it looks like it's going to be really tough. I mean, even though there is a demand, it's really, really hard
Yes, yes.
because,
The new entrant, as I said, they have to first basically understand the ABC of spices and just start doing some trading and slowly get into some processing, gaining of
mm,
industrial, and then focus on a longer run for any value addition and processing. That's what
yeah,
we say. But on
yeah,
the contrary, currently, whoever the new entrant people are coming here in the spices field are what to say. I'm not blaming everyone. Many of the people, the day one itself, they want to sell 10 truckloads of spices, 10 containers of this thing. And on the aggressiveness, they just miss the analysis of the credit report of the overseas buyer and getting caught into fake buyers and losing the money. These are
mm,
all happening. And it's all
yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
here to actually demotivate, but they should be little bit cautious and very calculative. No, not in a full rush of. I mean, becoming in a single day the highest explorer. It's not like that. Step by step, they can move up, understand the basic, find out the problems. Field level में उतरो, क्या क्या problems analyze करो. You just solve out those problems automatically. Your pathway is clear.
right, right. So, so what is so trading is one part of it.
Yeah.
Value addition. What are the opportunities in value addition?
So, right from what can I say? Uh, right from the Mughal era or right from the British, right from the British era, I can say 80% of the spices are traded in bulk form.
Yeah, that's what I
Only
thought. I was just going to ask you. Hmm.
only 20% max to max is uh, it's going for value addition and exported as value added spices or consumed in India as also value added spices.
Hmm.
Out of the 20% value addition, whatever it is happened, see, in that only more than 10% is of simple next step of grinding.
Right.
Further going for the pastes or blends or the extraction of the nutraceuticals, the essential oil, the component which is, crucial for giving the medicinal property and the flavor profile. That has to be identified and that has to be tapped out. That market is very huge and only very few players are there. Very few players are
Hmm.
there.
And the knowledge of those value added opportunities and the innovations around that, where does that knowledge reside? Only with those handful of players.
That is what the bitter truth is. Uh, did you heard about any state of art R&D laboratory exclusively for spices? Have you heard anything like
State of art R&D.
facility for
I
spices?
don't know, the best that all my research is showing that the best uh, facility is at SDAU, the university.
The SDAU University is successful in producing good quality seed. They are into the pre part,
Hmm.
not the post production part. So they
Ah,
have developed many seed varieties and they are focusing much on that one as well. And in value addition, they are not,
doing anything.
seeing anything. Even you
Right.
have in Calicut, Indian Institute of Spices Research,
Huh.
right? There also they will be doing more research on different types of cardamom, pepper, and other South Indian spices,
Kerala.
whatever. Yeah, Kerala, and
Uh,
different of, new plantation, new type of variety development is there. What
hmm.
post harvesting to increase the value addition, what we did or what is the existing any facilities there or point is it, what is it? Each and every company out of their own interest and vision, they are collaborating with many other institutes and other institutes. They are trying to find out some of the things and with the communication from the buyer that we may need this one. Can you try? Right, there are many such products, inquired by our buyers, and we missed that bus also because whatever we don't do, somebody is already doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. The market fills its needs from somewhere.
So China
Yeah.
does a major value addition. USA does a major value addition.
Uh,
So these two countries import raw spices from us in huge quantity, and they do a number of value additions over there and they re-export the value-added processed spices to the entire world. We people also maybe one of some percentage may be there. We are supplying,
sorry.
they are value-adding, and they are re-importing to us, and we are rating that. What
Yeah. Yeah. So, so again, um, who in your ecosystem can enable this knowledge of value addition? Where, so there are two things here. One, where does the knowledge in India reside? And two, how do we disseminate it? Who has the interest to disseminate it, right? Those are the two questions that come to my mind immediately. So on the first one, where does this knowledge, is nobody thinking about it, or are there some people who do have this knowledge? Or is it, like you said, embedded within individual organizations? So I imagine you are doing something with some institution, you're doing some R&D somewhere. No?
Yeah, of course
You.
you have to invest in R&D.
Yeah.
The big,
Yeah.
the big gap lies over there, right from country, I can say, right from our country to company level and the institution level, wherever it is, the big gap and the big lack is that nobody is
R&D.
investing in R&D.
Yeah, because they're not seeing the writing on the wall. You're telling me in 3 to 4 years, IPM is going to become 100% requirement. That's writing on the wall already. That itself will mean loss of, market share. In
Yes,
addition to that, value addition is becoming, given the new generations that are becoming consumers, you need newer and more innovative.
absolutely.
I mean, I see my kids, they don't use chili powder, the traditional chili powder. They only use chili flakes in whatever they cook.
Uh, yeah, some portion, some part they are using like that. And
Yeah, so yeah,
in
so
the expos which I met in, which I visited in Thailand, I was surprised to see 15 different of chili pastes.
yeah,
15 different varieties. So, I mean,
that's an opportunity.
why we are unable to make that? Why
So
they
is
are
it,
making?
yeah, so that's why I ask, is it lack of knowledge? Is it lack of equipment? Is it lack of investment, in those kind of things?
Add number four, lack of desire.
How can that be when the market is telling you that there is a big demand on that?
Can show you practical examples. How many you need? That is a, I mean, saddest part actually. People here, if I'm taking about say North Gujarat, in spices, say jeera, dhania, whatever it is, they are very very comfortable and on dealing in this with the trading. They are very much happy in doing the same trading every day, every morning. बस ये काफी हो गया क्या मगजमारी करने का what to do why want those not I mean their vision is not thinking beyond years only tomorrow at the maximum day after tomorrow that's it
Huh.
right.
Yeah. So question to you, not as an Asian spices head, but as the co-chair of the Federation of Spice Industry, right? What
Question.
would you do? What would you do to actually shake this up and to create a much higher desire and bring the knowledge together to kind of have people start to shift towards that? What would you do if you had all the freedom and all the means? What would you do?
See, the current example is what I can say the live example we have connected with Vadhavani,
Hmm.
right? When I had
Hmm.
a meeting with them, I told that value addition is a big gap that we have to sort out. With
Hmm.
that program, you just focus and train in the 9 weeks program they have trained. So try to include more and more knowledge of that one. And in last week when I met the industry commissioner and principal secretary of Gujarat, I have clearly stated that Unja, because I visit in Unja, you know very well that
Hmm.
Asia's biggest market yard is Unja,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
have turnover more than 6,000 crores, right? So I mean, having such a potential of spices, if a big hub, Asia's biggest market yard, India's out of global, there are 70% of the spices is produced in India
Hmm.
in at least in each and every state or a zone. Why can't we? Why didn't we establish any state of art R&D lab for value addition? क्यों नहीं
What
किया?
was the answer? What are they saying?
They said that thank you, Karthik. You have done a well in-depth analysis. We have noted your points and we will come back to you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
How many people like yourself who have a really good sense of, where the global market is going and what the opportunity and the threat, for spices in India is?
To take North Gujarat and others and all, the percentage is very, very low. Overall, I can say in some portion of South India, they are a bit ahead.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, major growing spices are from Bombay. I can you say Maharashtra, Bombay is a bit ahead. South India is a bit ahead, and Gujarat is we are doing. So of course,
So,
in whole form, raw form, quantity wise, bulk business, we are
lots of players. Yeah.
I, that everybody. But
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
distribution part and others, that thing, that very, very few, very
Yeah. So I am just wondering, as at least a small step forward, what if we put together a podcast series which focuses only on innovation in spices and the opportunity, to serve the global market in that, where we bring together, where we have people like yourselves, all of these people, that the small percentage that you're talking about, we have those players talk about it. We kind of very carefully create a series and a brief, and we map different people to it, and we have somebody seasoned who can do these interviews and bring this out, and we create simple video case studies on, how they've leveraged these opportunities and, dramatically grown their business, because you need that more than anything else. You need that, those inspirational stories about how somebody really just exponentially, grew their business by leveraging these kind of opportunities which very few people were seeing, right? And then we focus it on my and I may be wrong in this, but my sense is that it's not the older generation owners who will pick this up. It will be the younger generation, the sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters of these companies that will, that'll kind of pick it up, is my sense. But if we don't create this knowledge, so that's on one side. On the other side, is there good knowledge base in India on how do you produce high quality? Forget the zero point 0.1, what is it called? PPM, right? So, I mean, if it is impossible standards, it's very hard to do impossible standards. But how do we create higher quality production, and what do we need to do for that, working with at least the large farmers? So again, on the knowledge front, are there large farmers who are already shifting because they're seeing the opportunity for the IPM grade, jeera and other spices, let's say, right? So we create these two pools of knowledge, and we propagate that, through your and through, other channels, right? The GCCI channel, your channel. And I mean, you will have to help me in kind of even putting together who the stakeholders are who can actually get this out. Do you feel that will make a difference? 'Cause I'm just kind of coming at it from a commonsensical approach, but do you feel it is worth doing, or is this like too impractical?
only a tiny steps will take you to the top. Right.
So
So
let's try it, is what you're saying. Okay.
and the question which you have asked, that was shooted to me immediately after when he said that there is a big lack in R&D facility and this thing to the principal commissioner in Gujarat.
Huh.
Then madam was immediately agreed. Okay, good. We have good in-depth analysis. So what we should do? She posted the guy, what should we do? I told that, madam, I have not come came with only the problems. I have come up with the solutions as well, right? So then I told that you make a, good R&D facility and you collaborate with three top institutes in India. One is CFTRI Mysore. Another one is NIFTM Tanjore.
Yeah.
Another one is NIFTM Sonipat, Haryana. Right? And apart from that, if you want the product specific, you can also approach IASR, Indian Institute of Spices Research, Science. Mostly these first three, whatever I'm talking about, they will be able to give us good guidance. So when these people are brought into the picture and you develop a model or you develop some courses actually, why can't we develop such, based on the cases, can able to develop a paper or a project or some case studies for people who are doing the food technology courses.
Yeah. Case studies and, playbooks and case studies. We also can actually go to these organizations and, if you know that there are certain people there, we will approach them, Kartik. We
I
will
have,
go,
met,
we will,
I have visited many times actually. You know who want to meet, we will connect.
who?
No, in CFTR I am talking about. I have visited many times. We had so many discussions, and further we want to, then they are ready to give some projects or work with us. They will work on some chargeable basis. We need to pay, and they will take up the project.
Yeah, so we can't run projects as such, but what we can do is get the experts there and we can start collecting the knowledge, creating those case studies, etc., in collaboration with them. We can pay them to do that with us, and then kind of start disseminating that. That we can do.
That we can do, right? So this is what I have explained them. So you have to, contact with these three research institutes and the research institutes people, scientists. They will work accordingly, whatever the specific needs for us, and they can able to give some pilot program of value added products. That is one. This thing is needed. Uh,
Okay.
Mostly these are the, major points which I
This
see.
is good. I think we can pick this up. This seems like a really good way forward, at least immediately. And we build a body of knowledge around this, and we then figure out how do we then get this out into the world.
Yes, that is one thing, right? And
Okay, so
sooner or later, you have to,
hmm.
uh, I mean, uh, urge the government to give good subsidies for those farmers who are transforming from conventional to IPM and IBM to organic. Some supports have to be given to the government by the government.
I
Overnight, you can't
I
change.
correct,
Overnight, you can't change. So, but that
correct.
is a threat. That is a threat on the way.
Yes, it is. And it's a
Can you
short
hold for a
window.
moment? Or can you hold for a moment? I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
getting.
sure.
Sorry, you can continue.
No problem at all. Yeah. So I think we were talking about, let's just get started with capturing some of the knowledge from these organizations. And you already have some contacts, and let's begin with that. You are so what do you think is the timeline when you come back? In the meantime, we do some research on what actually is happening,
Area,
right?
I would be very
Yeah.
happy that you could uh, come out with some of the researches.
Yeah, yeah,
Then I
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah,
able to discuss further on this.
yeah. No, so good. So that's a good action item. We'll do some research on what really is happening. We'll also do some research on what's the market opportunity looking like,
Yes,
and who's serving that opportunity today, right? So we'll do that as well, and we'll look more deeply at these organizations as well.
and
And
also
then when you,
calculated how much of in terms of financial losses we are making. I mean, on the forex reserves we miss by not adapting to this value addition process.
yeah, yeah, I
Monetary
mean,
terms,
if
we need to say that.
yeah,
This is
if we are
only on the
producing
figures.
correct. If we are producing 70% of the spices and somebody else is supplying 70% of the value addition, that's a big loss. Or 80% of the value additional products, and that's a big loss. I mean, this is a classic problem that I saw in Africa when we were launching. So I was responsible for the global expansion of the foundation's efforts. So in Africa, this was a massive issue because they were producing coffee and other raw material in large numbers, in large volumes, but Europe was processing it. So the money that accrued to us, to Africa, was very low. Vis-a-vis Europe was processing it, branding it, selling it. And so, so it's the same issue for us with spices. I mean, I think we got a little lucky in dairy because of Amul and the big efforts on Amul front. The whole cooperative effort, we got really lucky with dairy. And even there, we are not leveraging. Dairy again has massive demand for cheeses of different kinds, but we are stuck to the basic cheese and the basic butter. And so we're not doing enough value addition there as well, pertaining to the global demand. That is.
Have you
So I
found,
think,
have you found out the
huh?
prime reason behind that?
No, I don't know. I don't know enough about this at all.
No,
So
no,
how does,
not sector
huh?
specific, not sector specific. In general, I'm talking about whether you say in dairy or spices,
Yeah,
somewhere.
because I mean, we are low on innovation because we don't invest in innovation. That's been clear to the government and to us for a long, long time. The foundation, in fact, actually, you know, was working with the government. We actually spent 3 4 years just getting the government to agree to put together an SBIR kind of a fund. The US has an SBIR fund. I, in fact, took the officials of Niti Aayog to the US. We did a full recce of the SBA and the SBIR fund there, met with at least a dozen officials in different states, to really see how it works over there. We put a cabinet paper together in order to get that cleared. The issue is that everything here becomes somebody's fiefdom. So we were at that point. There was like, this was when Mr. Parikar was the defense minister, and there was an agreement to actually initiate that through the defense ministry first. And we were saying that we would create the mechanism, and we would bear the cost of managing that mechanism. We will cover our own cost of our own team and build the platform and build the mechanism so that very high quality projects get funded. But the money will come from the government for the funding directly, right? And then, like I said, the fiefdoms came in, you have Niti Aayog on one side, you have Defense Ministry wanting to do it, but Niti Aayog saying we are the custodians of innovation and all of that. So, in a lot of things in India get lost in these kind of situations. And I mean, beyond this, there's nothing really that we can do. Luckily for us, the whole defense, IDEX program did start, right? Because there was already a willingness within the defense ministry to do that. And then the whole Make in India gave it more push. And so that did start. But I mean, this was for several ministries. We said this has to be at least 5 ministries should sign up to do this, because this can really break the innovation gap that we have in these kind of areas. And I think when you talk of food processing is nothing but innovation. What else is there? Everything else is just trading. It has got to be innovative, right? So some of that, I mean, it's not like nothing is happening. Some of it is happening, but not enough. It's not happening at the rate at which we need to do in order to actually meet the requirements and the demands that are coming up. And like you said, if we don't do it, somebody else will.
No,
That's pretty
somebody else
clear.
is already doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that that's the case. So I think what we need also in terms of research is not just what India is not doing, but what is the rest of the world doing? People who are actually doing the value addition processing, what are they doing? I think that has to be also brought to the fore. Yeah. So let me do some of that at our end. And then when you're back, let's connect. I'll at least put an outline of, what could be an approach apart from the research notes that we put together. What could be the approach for this, for capturing knowledge? And, who are the people? I'll rely on you to kind of, help me get to that point. We'll do some research at our end, but we'll rely on you to do that. And then let's just go out there and do it. That's all. And then see, what
We will try
happens.
to talk to the ministry and find out if any delegation or any possibilities to have or visit to overseas companies, processing units
Yeah,
from uh, government level. If they form a delegation, as already some of the countries we have a free trade agreement (FTA). Under that, if we try to have some exposures to their processing facilities and other things,
correct.
some I mean, we
Yeah,
will get more exposure.
absolutely, absolutely. And if there is
Right.
if during those kind of delegations, there's a way to kind of capture that on video and stuff, if we can get permissions to do those kind of things, that's even better. I don't know if we will or not, but
Better put,
but
let us put up.
okay, okay. So
Let's
let's
see.
take the first steps, and then I think you can do the conversations with the government as well. Let's see where it can go. Let's make the attempt, because I mean, on the one side, there's this huge opportunity, and there's like this huge excitement even at the government end. They seem to think that there's big opportunity in spices, but there's a looming threat. We can't ignore that.
Absolutely,
Right?
you're right.
Okay, I'm very glad we had this conversation, because this gives me a little bit more direction on, what should I kind of do next in order to really support the industry, because otherwise everything else is token. Yeah.
Yeah, well said, well said. Sure.
Okay.
You
Okay,
just
Karthik.
carry on with the inputs. We just have a look at it, do some research. Till then,
Yeah.
we'll be back by 8th or 10th of October from
October.
Germany.
Hmm. Hmm.
We'll connect from there.
Yes, absolutely we will. All right,
Thank,
great. Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
you. Thank
Okay,
you.
have a
Nice.
good trip. Bye.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Thank you.